a bell. Our next comic, she actually produces the show tonight, so make it loud for Jerry Evans.
I gotta apologize for the notes in the glasses because I can't see shit without my glasses anymore. And I can't even remember stuff. I don't know what's happened. But there is a new scam out against the elderly. It's a Medicare scam. And they call you up and say, did you get your new Medicare card in the mail? And of course you say no, because there isn't one. Oh, well then give us your information and we'll take care of it for you. Well, I got that call last week. Did you get your new card in the mail? This is John from Medicare. And I said, yeah, I did get a new card in the mail. And it had your name and a picture of an asshole on it. I don't think he's gonna call back. Another reason I don't put up with any more shit anymore, I don't have to, I just got a divorce. After 41 years. My friend said, that must have been a surprise, a divorce after 41 years. I said, no, it wasn't a surprise at all. I knew he was involved with another woman because he'd started brushing his teeth. And one day I came home early and caught him wearing my lingerie. And he was a great big heavy man. I said, what are you doing? He says, I have everything a woman desires. I said, yeah, curly hair and big tits. Take that off, you're ruining it. And he stretched it all out of shape. It was expensive stuff. It was from the Caitlyn Jenner collection. But I realized that I love my cat more than I love that man. I love my cat more than I love that man that I was married to for 41 years. Because that cat will bury shit and never bring it up again. But he told me, he said, you know, Jerry, we're going to have to be associated for the rest of our lives because we have kids and grandkids together. I said, yeah. Well, we should do stuff together. I said, okay. Let's make a pact. Let's kill ourselves. And you go first. I do have 2 daughters who are here with us tonight. Spoiled shits. They're sitting right there at that table. Don't you make me have to come over there. It's going to be a sad day in your life if I have to come out there. But I've been dating and I'm not doing well with it. I'm just not. I met one guy and he said, I love walking on the beach. I said, oh, so do I. And he says, let me get my metal detector. I don't think it's you. Another one told me that he would take me anywhere to eat that I wanted to go as long as they accepted food stamps. So we were in Vaughn's having dinner, and he couldn't even afford a water to go with the peanut butter and cheese crackers we were having. So that was the end of that one. Then I started dating a used car salesman. Not exactly the most honest person in the world, but I liked him. And after 4 or 5 dates, I felt comfortable with him, and I said, Joseph, you know, I'm really thinking about getting a boob job. And he said, oh, a woman your age getting a boob job, that'd be like fixing the headlights on a car that's been totaled. They will never find his body. I wouldn't pay for a boob job anyway. I'd wait for the buy one, get one free sale. The last guy that I was dating, I quit dating him because I didn't like his hair. And my sister said, well, what's wrong with his hair? And I said, he doesn't have any. And he's got this scaly, awful head where he doesn't wear sunscreen or anything. Then I dated this guy that I really liked, and after the 3rd date, he told me he was gay. And he worked for a yarn company. And I said, why didn't you tell me that before? Why did you wait for 3 days to tell me you were gay? Well, I just didn't want to tell you. And I said, wait a minute, you run the loom, don't you, at the yarn factory? And he said, yeah. And I said, so does that make you the fruit of the fucking loom? God. Then I got the date that I had been waiting for. I had wanted to go out with this man for so long, and he finally asked me out. So I'm getting ready for the date. I had a new outfit, I did my hair, I did my makeup, I got the perfume out. Well, you have to be prepared. Yeah. You don't know what's gonna happen. You have to cover all the bases. First, second, third, and home. And this is baseball season. He could try and slide into home. I don't know what the hell is going on. And my older sister, all she does is heckle me about my dates. And she said, you should have married that high school sweetheart of yours. I said, I couldn't marry him. His name was Dick. She said, so what? And I said, I can't drive around the rest of my life with a bumper sticker that says, I love Dick. I could get arrested for that. She also asked me, after my date, how did it go? I said, it was fine. And? I said, there is no and. Well, what did you do? I said, we had lunch, we talked, then we went and got coffee, and we talked. She said, and? I said, there is no and. She said, did you do the hokey pokey? She said, no, I did not. Did you turn yourself around? I said, no, I did not. I did not do anything like that. She says, you know, time is moving on. You're older. You better get a move on. Do you know what atrophy is? And I said, yes. And you've heard the term use it or lose it? And I said, yes. And she said, well, in severe cases of atrophy for women, they have gotten so tight that a man cannot get in. And another sister said, oh, that's terrible. I can't think of anything worse. And I said, well, I can. What if you can't get out? I mean, you can't walk around like this the rest of your life. And what would you do? Call for help? Call the fire department? Could you send someone over here with the jaws of life to get this dick out? Yes, a dick. What do you mean, where is it? It's a dick. Where do you think it would be? Hey, what you do in your life is your personal business, okay? No. Listen, I'm not joking. I need to get rid of this dick. No, I am not Melania Trump. Well, I just pissed off half the audience, but that's okay. I work for Spirit Halloween during the off season. Because I love Halloween, I get a great discount. But I see things differently than a lot of other people see them. I don't always see things the same way. Supposedly, this is a scar that you stick on your face. But, that's no scar. That's what I look like after a long night of hard loving. I need to take care of my bucket list. Time is moving on. And something that has been on my bucket list for years, I have always wanted to have sex with someone in a closet at a crowded event. Does that make me a pervert? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck what you think. But as a middle-aged woman, I'm happy to report that item has been removed from my bucket list. It was great, and he was fantastic. If I ever see him again, I'm gonna find out what his name is. Millions of people coming out of the closet, and I can't wait to get back in one. There's one other thing that I want to take care of before my time is up. I've always wanted to be in a good movie, and they're remaking so many movies. And I keep waiting, hoping that they would remake The Wizard of Oz. Because I want to be in it. I'm small. I could be a munchkin. And when the munchkins sing, their voices shake. I could do that. As coroner, I must defer. I thoroughly examined her, and she's not only merely dead, she's really more sincerely dead. When my daughters were 11 years old, brats, they went into my room and they found an adult book. And they brought it out to me, and they got it open to a picture of a guy getting a blowjob. And I thought, oh no, I wasn't going to talk to him this young. Mama, what is she doing? And I said, oh, I don't know. Is she going to get a baby from doing that? I said, no, she ain't going to get no baby. She's going to get jewelry. Now, some of you might wonder how I know that. So I gave them their sex education, and I thought I did a good job, and then one of them asked me, is it fun? Were you supposed to say that? And I said, well, yeah, but it's got to be with the right person, someone that you really love and care about. You can't just go pick someone off the street like your Aunt Vicki Diane does. Vicki Diane is my youngest sister, who is known to the family as VD for obvious reasons. And she doesn't have a goddamn brain in her head, and she's cheap. She wanted a tattoo, a cluster of cherries right up the top of her boob. And she got it, but she had a friend do it, wouldn't even pay a pro to do it. Well, 5 kids and 20 years later, now it looks like a bunch of bananas. So that's Vicki Diane. That was their sex education. I was flashing back to when I got mine. I come from a large family of 11 kids. And I was 5 years old, and we had a new baby, a new brother, Dennis. And so I'm looking at the baby, and I said, Mom, how do you know if the baby's a boy or a girl? Are the girls born with the long hair and the boys are born with the short hair or bald? Or does the doctor decide? She said, oh, what the hell's the matter with you? Are that stupid? I said, well, I don't know. She says, you know what you look like down there? And I said, yeah. So she grabs another brother who's 3 years old and pulls his pants down and said, that's what he looks like. That's what a boy looks like. Now go outside and play. So I'm standing there. But I want one of those. Don't worry about it. When you get older, you'll get plenty of those. So that was my sex education. I have reverted back to an old tactic of mine that I used to enjoy before I was married, and that's sex on the beach. And I am not talking about the drink. No. And I call those two to brag about it. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, a woman of your age doing something like that. That is disgusting. We would never do anything like that. And I thought, dear God, the hospital gave me the wrong babies. Those two can't be mine. I said, well, let me give you a few pointers just in case you change your mind. Number 1, wait until dark. Number 2, never, ever, ever use the jellyfish as a lubricant. And number 3, make sure you're wearing your own underwear before you go home. Okay? Does that make sense to you? And they said, still, we would never do it. And I said, well, let me tell you something, dearies. If I hadn't had sex on the beach, your asses wouldn't be here. Where do you think your names came from, Sandy and Shelley? If you'd have been born boys, I'd have named you Rough and Rocky. Oh, God, that brings back memories. There's one more thing I want to, I work at the fairgrounds, the racetrack, and we had recently a Christian concert, and I was amazed how much those people drink. And this one woman comes up to me, orders a drink, I get it for her, and she looks into my tip jar and goes, "We don't tip." And I said, "Oh, because we don't know what you're going to spend the money on. It might be something sinful. So we don't tip." And I saw her drop something in my jar, and I knew it wasn't money. So she turns and she walks away, takes about 6 steps, and turns around and looks at me and smirks. So I reached in my tip jar, and it was a 2-inch statue of Jesus. So I bit its head off. Now, I don't think I'm going to be in trouble with God, because God has a good sense of humor, okay? If not, why would he put nerves in our teeth? Have some more sugar, you fat lard ass. Okay, one more thing here, just a fast few things. Sometimes I let my mind wander and think about stupid things, like, why is there an expiration date on sour cream? If 2 bald men put their heads together, would they be making an ass of themselves? If a hooker lowered her rates, would that be wholesale? Is a crack dealer actually a pimp? If 2 bald men put their heads together, would they be making an ass of themselves? I'm Jerry Evans, thank you.
One more time for Jerry, your producer, Jerry Evans. All right, pro tip, guys. KY jelly is not the same as jellyfish lube. Just want to clarify that one. You guys ready for your last comic? We have one more comic. Again, we're gonna try to make this a monthly show, so come back, look for our flyers and all that. We appreciate your tips. It helps us keep this stuff going, so thank you very much for being here. Our last comic, she has a show she's producing on her birthday, June 19th, over at the Mic Drop called Silver Sisters.